This is Shunryu, and I'm back today, and I'm going to be going over some of the gear I'm going to be taking for my 2016 Appalachian Trail through hike. And today I'm going to be covering my food storage, my cooking system, as well as my water. Stay with me. Okay, before I get started, let me go ahead and say this. It looks like with everything that I showed, my total weight is going to come in at 15.4 ounces. So just a little under a pound, and that's going to be again for my food storage, my cooking system, as well as for my water and water filtration. Now, a couple of things. I am going to be taking isobutane. And just a reason for convenience, it's not the lightest option. There are lighter options out there, but I want to be able to just enjoy my through hike and just not worry about spending a lot of time cooking at the end of the day. So I'm going to go ISO. I may switch to alcohol later, but we'll see. I don't include this in my weight because it is considered consumable, but this does come in at 7.4 ounces. For my utensil, I'm going to be carrying a Human Gear Go Bites Duo. Check out my channel if you want to see a full review on it. This is going to be replacing my titanium long spoon. I'm going to see how durable it is, and I just want to test it out and see if it makes it through a through hike. And just kind of give you a quick idea of how it works. You pull it apart, you slide it together like that, and you get a long spoon. And it's good for your mountain house meals and backpacking, pantry meals, and freezer bag cooking, and those kind of things. This comes in at 0.8 ounces. And just to note, if you're comparing it to a titanium long spoon, the titanium long spoons come in at 0.69. So it's barely any difference in the weight. In addition to that, I'm going to be taking an anti-gravity gear pot cozy. This comes in at 1.4 ounces. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to keep it or not, but it is a good way for me to maximize my fuel. We'll see how that goes. I normally like to cook out of my pot, so I'm going to have to try and see if I can train myself to use this. If not, I'll just get rid of it. As far as my cook system is concerned, this comes in at a total weight of 4.7 ounces. So, and that includes everything that I'm going to show you. I've got a Z-Pax Cuban fiber stuff sack that it comes in, or that I put it in. In addition to that, I got a Core carbon fiber lid. And let's see, this comes in at 0.3 ounces. The pot is a Toke 750 milliliter. This is probably one of the bigger pots that I've used, but I'm going to take this because I know I'm going to be cooking a lot more. Pot weight comes at 2.8 ounces, and it's made out of titanium. And as far as the stuff that I have inside, I've got a little sponge that I've cut down. It barely even shows up on my scale. I think it's like 0.01 ounces. Some hot lips. This comes in at 0.1 ounces. And for those of you guys that don't know, the way it works is you stick it on the side of your mug. And so that way you don't burn yourself if it's too hot. Mini Bic lighter, and I'm going to actually change this out for a white one. The reason why I like the white ones is because the white ones, you can see the fuel levels. That way I can just kind of gauge it. I probably won't end up using the whole thing through a through hike, but just in case. Lighter comes in at 0.4 ounces. And I did a review on this. It's called a BRS titanium stove. I bought it on Amazon. I want to say it was about $16.50. Weight on this is 0.9 ounces, which right now I think is the lightest. Titanium isobutane, or any type of ISO stove that you can get, or canister stove. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this for my through hike because I want to see how durable it is and if it can make it through a through hike. I've also done a review on it on my channel. Please feel free to check it out. But in addition to that, I am also going to carry my Snow Peak Light Max because it's been tried and tested, and it's definitely stood up for many years of backpacking. So if this thing fails on me, it's only 0.9 ounces. I've got this, and this weighs 1.9 ounces. So not that much of a difference, or I'm only carrying 0.9 ounces to carry this and test it out. But again, in case this fails, I've got this to go back on. So that's my entire cook system. Food storage is going to be pretty simple. I'm carrying a Z-Packs Cuban fiber arc blast food bag. I've had this, I want to say, for a little over a year. If you're interested in knowing more about it, check it out on my channel. I've done a review. In addition to that, I've got just a Z-Packs carabiner attached to it, so that way I can use it to hang it. And the total weight on this with the bag as well as the carabiner comes in at 1.5 ounces. And then I've also got some cordage. This is 50 feet, it's 1.3 ounces. Total weight is going to come in at 2.8 ounces. And one of the things I'll say is that normally I don't hang, you can tell. I don't think I've ever used this cordage. I normally just sleep with my food, but I'm taking it just in case for places I may need to hang my food. So that's what I'm going to be using to store my food. Okay, so this is going to be my water system. And one of the things I've decided is I've got a Sawyer Mini right here. It comes in at 1.9 ounces, but I've decided that I'm actually going to switch it out to a Sawyer Squeeze. Flow rate's just better. I lost my other one, so I'm actually in the process. I've already ordered another one. I'm just waiting for it to come in. But I'm not going to take this. So there's going to be a difference in weight. If I remember correctly, the Sawyer Squeeze comes in at 3.5 ounces. So I'm going to end up taking a little bit of an increase in weight, but to me it's going to be worth it just to make things a little faster when it comes to filtering my water. So I'm not going to take this. I'm using a 2-liter Avenue water bladder. Just in case you don't know, I prefer to use these personally with any of the Sawyer products just because of the fact that the thread's made up better on this. I've done a review, I want to say it was probably about a year ago, where I discussed the benefits of using an Avenue bladder versus using the ones that come with Sawyer, as well as the platypus one. So if you're interested, check it out. In addition to that, the weight on this comes in at 1.2 ounces. And then taking a smart water bottle. Oh, and the other thing is the cool thing about this is I like to use this for my camp water. So mainly this is going to be my filter bag to filter my water, as well as use it for camp water when I get into camp. And this is going to be what I primarily use to carry my water in. And it's just a smart water bottle. This is a 33.8 ounce. This comes in at 1.5 ounces. And I also took one of the tops off of one of the smaller bottles. That way I can use it as a flip top. But in addition to that, I can also use this to back flush my filter. So it serves multiple purposes. If for some reason or another I decide that I want to go, or I need to be able to carry more water, I'll just carry another bottle on the trail. But for me, normally 3 liters is more than enough to get between water sources. And then the last thing is that I have a little scoop that I made. I've been using the same concept or same idea for a couple of years now. The bottom of a small lightweight water bottle and just cut it off and score the top off. And it compresses down really small. That way I can go in and low water sources, I can just scoop it up, fill it into my bag, and use that to filter my water. So if for any reason, like I said, I did a video on this, why I use the Avenue bladders. Also in that video talked about some information about this, but the cool thing is if you look at it, it compresses to nothing. Weight comes into 0.1 ounces. So, I mean, it's definitely worth the wait, and it makes life a little easier, and you don't have to worry about dragging this through the water or ripping it up or anything like that for low-lying areas. So, outside of that, that's everything that I'm taking. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. As always, like, share, and subscribe. This is Sean Ryu. Thanks for watching.
Moving like the speed of sound. We can keep on the ground. Can't stay in one place. Keep